Does laissez-faire work in Victoria 3? Those of you that don't know, laissez-faire is an economic system where the government basically says it'll work itself out in the end, and that's pretty much it. Basically meaning that the government tries to interfere as little as possible with private business. This is one of the reasons the Industrial Revolution caused so much growth. But does it work in a computer game as well as it does in real life? I'm gonna play as the United States, the champions of laissez-faire economics, and we're gonna test this out. The rules of this are gonna be that I'm only allowed to build buildings which are in the development panel or government administration buildings, weapons, so munitions and small arms, universities, and that's it. Also power plants when we get them. I'm also allowed to establish and remove trade routes. What I'm testing here is I want to see how extensively our GDP is going to grow. So then let's get started. First things we are going to want to do is change our economic system to laissez-faire, obviously. And we are also going to want to change our trade policy to free trade. Speed the game up and let's go. Uh-oh. So obviously for laissez-faire, if I'm not allowed to build anything, then obviously most of the construction is going to come from private constructions. In order to fully utilize the investment pool, I'm going to be spamming out as many construction sectors as possible. If you've seen my previous video where I discuss income and expenditure, then you'll know why I'm doing this. There should be a link to it in the top right corner if you want to go check it out. For the sake of the entire economy not collapsing, because this is a computer game, I am going to be allowed to mess around with the production methods as much as I want of all of our business. We're going to start off getting the water tube boiler for technology. Britain wants a trade agreement. Well, in the free market, it'll work itself out, so I'm going to say no. RIP, Texas. It will be in the Union soon, though. Let's see, I'd very much like to give women rights, but I also want to get a professional army. So there's some tough choices. RIP. Just in case, for whatever reason, you don't want to look at my previous video, then I'll explain quickly how the investment pool works and why I need to have a lot of construction sectors. So the private construction uses the government construction sectors. So in order to fully utilize all of this, you're going to have a lot of construction sectors so that they can spend all that money, is how it is in basic terms. I'm not sure why it's showing a bunch of what looks like Ottoman people in this picture, but we're not getting our professional army, it looks like. So then I guess women can have rights. Almost forgot, suppress the landowners. Never mind, it looks like I can't do that either because there's going to be a revolution if I do that. RIP. Maybe I can get a dedicated police force? RIP Mexico. As I expected, it looks like the AI is building nothing but art academies. And look at that, we've already just about run out of investment pool. Some educational investments. So you can see right here, the thing that they're investing in, they're waiting for funding to become available for the things that they want to construct. This is good because this means we're not wasting any time or resources. The only thing that's going to be setting us back is the amount of money in the investment pool. And that's what we want. And also, if we do switch to laissez-faire, which we need the industrialists and the government to do, which I don't right now, this is going to allocate more money for private construction. Because currently, it's only using 50% of it. Kind of. Like I said, I explained this in my other video. I don't like national militia very much, but it's what we're stuck with, and the longer I wait, the stronger Mexico is going to get, so I'm going to invade now. Going to try to go for historical USA borders here. Almost forgot, gotta declare an interest over here, apparently. Don't care too much about La Plata. Canneries. Yo! They straight up gave up. They gave me everything. I've never seen that before. That's really cool. Awesome. Well, I don't know what to do now. I had like a whole thing planned for that. Okay. I'm thinking I'm gonna appease the landowners as much as humanly possible so that I can get them up to, I think, 11 support, and then I can do the slavery ban without having a revolution. Well, since I didn't need to spend all that money and resources fighting the Mexicans, I think I'll fight the British next, and I'll take these territories. Let's see, how the GDP doing? It's flat. Almost forgot, start incorporating all the states. This has got to be some of the strangest alt history I've seen. Sorry about that, Mexico. You want to be my friend anyway? They are uncertain. I don't think that's enough fear for my taste. Activate the conscription centers. It's not like they were doing anything anyway. Zachary Taylor is a general that you start off with as the United States, and look at these traits. This dude is amazing. As a general, anyway. I swear, Paradox has put some of the wackiest names in here for Americans. Okay, war has broken out, and they haven't even arrived yet. Some tells me this isn't gonna be too much of a challenge. I'm allowed to build munitions plants, so I'm going to. We have a massive shortage at the moment. This is so expensive. We're currently trying to enact laissez-faire. This should be the first step forward. Mechanized workshops. And Great Britain is done with. Now we can finally stop taxing the piss out of everyone. 3 million radicals, 60,000 loyalists. There, we now have laissez-faire. That means we should get more investment pool from the capitalists and whatnot, and a few other things. We have 500,000 in the investment pool. That is unacceptable. More construction sectors are required. Free trade will be the next step. No taxes. Since I'm not playing around with government construction, I have an absurd amount of money. At the same time, there's not really a whole lot left to do. GDP still isn't growing all that much, but I mean, we'll give it a little bit longer. Maybe it'll boom later. I'm not supposed to interfere. Hey there, Indian Territory. You wanna stop existing? You know, I've got like no taxes, but there's a lot of radicals in the country. Looks like all of them are angry because they all want to preserve protectionism for some reason. You usually don't gain that many radicals from that. It's not fun. Okay, we're just getting way too many radicals for this, so I'm gonna get free trade a little bit later. We're currently 2 approval points away from being able to get slavery banned, and we'll have an extra percentage chance because the leader of our country is an abolitionist. So I control all the territory around this state right here, all right? I want to colonize this state so I can make this state whole, have more territory, you know, the reasons why you do that. But it won't let me because the Columbia District has a claim on this and has an interest in this territory. If I go here, there's no option to remove that claim. I'm not sure what to do about that. I can actually incorporate this state because it thinks that it's, even though it's a split state, I don't know what to do about that. Arthur Morgan's at it again. So their landowners are not going to be at +11 anytime soon. So I'm going to try to do slavery ban anyway and see if it causes a revolution that will actually cause a civil war. Shockingly, it is, unfortunately. So it's been right around 13 years since we started the game, and the GDP has barely gone up at all. And the standard of living also hasn't gone up. It's gone down just a little bit. We've also gained 1 million radicals. I'm going to keep this going for a little bit longer, but something tells me laissez-faire in Victoria 3 might not work very well. I'm going to try this little exploit I discussed in a previous video. Basically, get the interest group that you want to pass a law that's going to resist it. Let's see, get them up to 90. Now we go exit out of that, and then we go back to laws, go to slavery ban, and they should still be pissed off about that, and they won't start another revolution. It didn't work this time. They might have fixed that in the recent update. So to really test out laissez-faire, I'm going to do what I consider to be a horrible idea, and I'm just going to get up and leave for about an hour, and then I'm going to come back and see how much the GDP has grown, and if I come back to a screen that says you have been annexed. Okay, I couldn't wait a full hour, so it's 12 minutes later. It looks like the amount of radicals in our country has gone down significantly. The amount of loyalists in our country has gone up significantly. Standard of living has increased by, I think, a point. And the GDP, it's gone up a good bit. Also, it looks like all the generals have died, except for one of them. It looks like we've annexed all of the Native American territories as well, except for this one. This is so stupid. Alright then, this isn't as bad as I expected, honestly. It looks like since I've started, we've gained 100,000 loyalists. So I'm incorporating all of these states in the middle of America, and I'm building a whole bunch of government administration to handle that, and I'm going to come back in another 12 minutes, see if the same progress has been made. Alright, it's been In another 12 minutes, we have a massive bureaucracy deficit, but we're still making money. That would be because we are running out of people in the District of Columbia. We'll have to start building our government administration somewhere else. Let's put them in Maryland. So then, it looks like the standard of living is exactly the same. The number of radicals has gone down by a further 1 million, and the number of loyalists has gone up by 1 million. And then the GDP has only gone up by 4 million, so not a whole lot. In terms of industry, it looks like we have a lot of food industries. We can probably, if we had done this, we'd probably have a whole lot less. We have not as many textile mills as I was expecting. I think we start out with only 10, so we've only made 3 textile mills. Got 21 furniture manufacturers. We've got a lot of tooling workshops. That's good. That means we have a very sustainable economy. We also got the steel to back it up. Got motor industries to back up railways. How many railways do we have? We've built 19. That's good. Let's see. Do we have low market access anywhere? Just in the District of Columbia and a little bit in Virginia. And that's because the railway there isn't fully employed. Okay. We've got 25 art academies. No, I think that's just a little silly. So whilst the GDP hasn't gone up a whole lot, it looks like it's gone up in a very healthy manner. So it's very sustainable. We've got a good bit of coal going, good bit of iron, good bit of mines altogether. A lot of gold fields. We've built gold mines. I don't think we start out with any gold mines. Yeah, we don't because they're in California. So that means someone's actually built these gold mines. That's pretty great because that gives me a lot of money. These ones are giving me 15K right now, or 1,500 right now. It looks like almost every single art academy is based in Mississippi. So that means the AI actually put the economy of scale into mind when they made these. That can be very good information to know. Looks like a great deal of industry is based in New York, Pennsylvania, a little bit in Maryland, not a whole lot of industry down south. They don't really start out with a whole lot of industry down there. And there's 7 furniture manufactories up here. So those were probably made by the private construction. So then, in terms of effectiveness, I'd say this is a mildly effective strategy. It's not very effective, but you won't die. You'll very likely survive, and you'll very likely have an enormous amount of art academies. So then, laissez-faire in Victoria 3? It's all right. So then that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you liked the video. If you liked it, found it somewhat mildly informative, you can like the video. Also, consider subscribing. If you have anything else you want me to do in Victoria, any challenges, any countries you want me to play as, let me know in the comments. That's it. Bye.